today we're going to be talking about what textual evidence is and how and when to use it within the context of reading Bud Not Buddy. So what is textual evidence? Well, when you go about your regular life, you form opinions about stuff all the time. I like this, I don't like this, that is good, that is bad. You've been doing it since you've been born, right? It's just a natural part of, the human brain. But in the context of school, I want you to be able to make opinions about stuff in an educated way. So I'm going to be showing you how to gather evidence, put that evidence together, create an opinion. Then when you tell that opinion to others, you need to tell how you came upon that opinion, right? And there's three kind of basic ways that people come to their opinions. So they experience it for themselves, and then they use that as evidence. So in the case of when you were 2 years old and your mom tried to feed you something you didn't like and you simply refused, your mom would always plead to your experiences. Well, you haven't even tried it yet. Try it and you'll see, right? So experience is one place you can get evidence from your opinions. The other place you can get evidence from is other experts. Right? So someone who is more knowledgeable in the area than you, and they've presented evidence, and then you can use that evidence to form your opinion. And finally, you can get evidence from reading, from books, from texts, from different articles. And that is actually what textual evidence is, evidence that was written down somewhere. And if you use all the different types of evidence, you can become a very fancy, educated person, and people will value your opinions more when they know where they come from. So in regards to textual evidence, you have three different options when using textual evidence in your work. You could repeat the author who said it verbatim. That means word for word, you repeat exactly what the original person said, the original expert. The other option you could do is you could paraphrase the author. You can kind of say about what they said. And the last one is you can summarize the author. And then I'll talk about each one of those separately. So verbatim means a direct quote. So it would sound something like this. According to page 14, George wants Hershey bars and M&Ms, right? The author specifically said, wants Hershey bars and M&Ms. Now I had to put George in brackets right there because otherwise you wouldn't know who I was talking about. The author actually said the word he, but I need to give you a little more context, so that's why it's in brackets. He didn't actually said it, but I know what he meant, okay? The other one is called paraphrase. And a paraphrase, that direct quote right there, it would sound like this. According to page 14, George is hungry for some sweet candy. It's kind of close, right? It's basically what they said, but there's no direct quotes around it. So then the reader knows I'm obviously paraphrasing. And the last one is summarize. Summarizing sounds like this. George likes chocolate, right? So usually my summary would be accurate, but then we could, easily use an example in this case and say, no, he just wanted it right now, but he generally doesn't like it. So then I would have to redo my summary. But a summary is more of like a generalization of what's happening. Now, you should have a paper that looks like this, okay? Let's read the directions together to start. Directions. Given two pieces of textual evidence, make a conclusion. Use the icons to help you think more deeply. Then start with a conclusion and find the evidence to support it. You will be writing 2 sentences to reflect your findings. In other words, you're going to be making a paragraph here. So I've given you 2 pieces of textual evidence. So if you look under the column of textual evidence, you'll see 2 pieces right there pulled right from the book. And if you need to know the context of it, you look right on those pages, page 14 and page 16, and it will tell you. So what you're going to do then is you're going to read this textual evidence and come to a conclusion about it. You're going to make an opinion about it. So I can't tell you what the context is here because you're going to have to read the book to find out. But then if we look down at the bottom here, it says Bud is a very good liar, which means that's an example of a kind of conclusion or an opinion that I could form. But what textual evidence did I get from that? So now you're going to do the opposite. You're going to go back through the chapters and you're going to find evidence that Bud is a very good liar, and then you're going to write down that evidence and the page number you found it on. And that is your assignment for today, to fill out this worksheet. And that's about it, practicing textual evidence. So just as a final reminder to conclude our lesson here, textual evidence is very powerful because it helps other people agree with your opinion. And when you can get people to agree with your opinions, you seriously begin to have power. All right, have a good time trying to figure out that, and I'll see you in office hours if you need a little help with it.